Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages. Welcome to Certa Pro Painters presents Who's to Blame, the podcast. It is time for episode 551. How's everyone doing today? It seems like we've been gone forever on this little 4-month vacation that we won, but it is glad to be back for sure. We should have been back 2 weeks ago. We had some technical difficulties, but we got it all straightened out now for sure. So here we are, good people, good folk. Hope everyone is doing well on this way back Wednesday edition of the podcast, Who's to Blame. We're going to raise the roof a little bit for the folks that are watching the live video. By the way, for the folks that are listening on Spotify and iTunes and Google Play and wherever you listen to your favorite podcast at, you can also check out the live video of Who's to Blame the podcast, which we will do each and every Wednesday by 2 p.m. You can check us out on Facebook, Who's to Blame the podcast, as well as Instagram, Who's to Blame the podcast, and Twitter at W2B Dre Montez, as well as YouTube Dre Montez. We can always do the one faithful thing and go to the website, www.dremontez.com. How are you good folks doing? Man, I tell you what, I think everyone needs time off, recharge, regroup, refocus. Depending on what it is that you do, I still think no matter what it is, take some time off. Take some time for yourself. Travel. Do some shrooms. Get naked. Walk barefoot. Touch the earth. Hug a tree naked. It will change your life. And you learn so much about yourself. I thought it's almost 10 years. Well, it's about 8 years ago when I got seriously injured playing softball. I haven't had thoughts like that since I was in the hospital and I had a little time to myself. Now, anything dark, but what are we doing next? What is the plan? What's the theory here? I mean, when you're 53, you're legally blind. We're getting older. We're getting smarter. What's ahead? How do you plan ahead for what's next? Not life-altering moves, but thought-provoking moves. Who's to blame? If it's your first time tuning in, I do appreciate you. I have missed it. Have you ever taken a vacation and all you could think about is the job? What you do for your passion, your living, your salary. That's all you can think about. Nothing in a negative way. Not talking about dealing with Sarah in office and Todd in warehouse. No, you genuinely miss what you do. But at the same time, you know you need a break. And out there traveling, meeting new people, finding out new ways to do things, being introduced to new things, new foods, going to places for the very first time, being a part of something I always wanted to be a part of, just getting involved in something, volunteering, rolling your sleeves up, sleeping outdoors, just all kind of things out there. But I think the most enjoyable thing I got out of this 4-month vacation, getting to know yourself, enjoying your loved ones, and really recognizing what true friendship is and what it means. It has nothing to do with borrowing money or hooking me up with a job or giving me a place to crash. But you figure out the meaning of true friendship. That's what I learned in my 4 months. And those are the great things that I will always cherish for sure. We're going to push the envelope for sure because we're getting close to what? That favorite time of the year, Libra season. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. I tell you what I like to call showing off today. We got the gun show out like I really have muscles. But it's fun pretending. I mean, I walk by the gym all the time. Bob and a Chris and a Steve as well. You know how that may be. But how we doing, good folks? It is great to be back. High fives in the building across the board. Chest bumping and hug yourself all the time and always. Don't worry about your other people. Worry about yourself. How are you doing is the most important question. How are you doing? Are you okay? How is the passion for the push going? The path on your progressions? Are you looking in the mirror, giving yourself that self-gratification that you need each and every day to ensure when I leave this house, I'm putting my best foot forward. Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get right on into it. Episode 551 of Who's to Blame, the podcast with your host here, Dre Montez. As a person that really gets into the visual aspect of a sporting event or entertaining event on the television, since the days of 4K, high resolution when it first came out, the plasma TV, I've been amazed on the presentation of sports and entertainment. But I think right now we're at crossroads right now. So something's happening, and I want to know what's coming next. Not the different styles of television, all the different types of streaming services. We've yelled back and forth all over summer over this. We still can't get it right. DirecTV, you're on punishment. That is just foolishness right now, what's going on with that. But my thing and question is here, what's coming next for us, the presentation of sports in the television? I want to know what's coming next as far as the presentation. I don't like what Apple TV did with the baseball. They can do better with the commentating and the covering and the visual aspect as we're at home. It was totally different having the Yankees and the Red Sox covered by Apple TV on a Friday night. That blew my mind. Who's to blame? When we have questions, where are these people at when we need answers immediately? Immediately. Not 5 to 10 days, but we'll have the answers later. I miss the days you could write the editorial to the newspaper when people used to be fearful of the editorial section. You can get your point across. But I'm wondering, as a fan, as a person that's kind of had it up to here on the extra fee here and this fee here, do you want commercials or do you not want commercials? I mean, do you want a QR code in the ad so you can buy what you're seeing? I mean, where does it draw the line? I just want to watch the game. I want to watch that concert. Why do we got to add all the extra when it should be going into the actual performance that we're paying to see? It should be a conversation between a couple of people talking about the game that we're watching. They're overdoing it. Too much analytics. You don't have to prove to us that you used to play football. You don't have to prove to us that you didn't play football. We can tell. Just cover the game. What's so hard about that? I mean, back in the day, they had less technology, but they have more problems now. How is that? Can you explain that to me, the powers that be? Can you possibly explain that to me? I mean, it's a very, very simple task, duty, and question. But they can't seem to give it to us. We got 9,000 different ways to watch the 4 major sports. But when it comes to the people talking about it, we're finding some Bush League material out here. Please do better. Who's to blame? How we doing, good people, good folks? I tell you what, I have so many stories to bounce back and forth on the people I met, the experiences that I had. I wish I would have taken the approach by the Boy Scouts in 1979 a little more seriously because I fell in love with camping outdoors. But that creepy outfit on that man, those glasses, the way his socks was pulled up, and that thick mustache, something just told me, no, Dre. So I never took the letter home to my parents to sign up for the Boy Scouts because I was scared. It just the overall presentation, I didn't like it. But now at 53 years old, and now I've been into camping now for about 7 years, and I'm telling you, I could live the outdoors life. I could. Let's go. I could do it. I could do it. I'm not talking about glamping either. I'm talking about intent. Let's do it. Let's do it. But I'm not going with them bears and lions and tigers and bears on my end. No. Give me a little stream right there so I can go fishing. I can go swim naked over here, walk somewhere. That is my type of camping right there. Where there's nobody out there, just you and nature. You out there in the wild. You're just talking to yourself, not out loud, but upstairs. And you just laughing, taking it all in. Breath of fresh air. Ooh, ah, 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 ah. I felt like a true mountain man for sure. Look at that. In-show advertisement. Mountain Man Scrub. Check them out on Facebook. They're working on the website, a little bit more tweaking to do. But if you do want to make an order, check them out on Facebook. Mountain Man Scrub. Great for your hands, feet, and face. Oh, my goodness. It is all around. But I enjoyed the vacation. But I also got spoiled a little bit, guys. I got spoiled. I went to the Cardinals game in the green seats. In the green seats. Listen, I lost my vision going on 6 years now. That is the best version of baseball I've ever seen while at the stadium. I've been in the box with the TV, but I feel like I'm cheating the game. I should be looking straight ahead, but I'm looking up. But the green seats, man, I'm spoiled. I am spoiled, but I'm going back. I'm going back. I'm going back. When it saw the Turnpike Troubadours, again. If you haven't been to that venue in Chesterfield, do yourself a favor. In Geo, get on out there. Get on out there for sure. For sure. We're going to move things right along as we just got done talking about what's coming next for as the viewership in sports and entertainment when you're in the comfort of your own home or at your local watering hole. I mean, what's next after this? I mean, how much more can we do for the visual perception at home? Now, after watching that UFC fight this weekend that took place in Vegas in the Sphere, that was mind-boggling. I closed the curtains like a romantic getaway, turned off all the lights. Hello, Dre. We're going to watch this UFC fight. And it was amazing. There was music. There was a narrator. There was a 5-part documentary. There was costumes. It was theatrical. It was a hell of a fight. That was my first time watching the entire UFC ceremony. Who's to blame? Dana White. Great job. Great job. Again, if it's your first time tuning in, thank you so much. Here's what I think that should be next. When we're watching these games, we're quite sure we're talking with the TV as well. We're doing our own commentating as well with our friends, our buddies, with our pet, fur buddy, whatever it may be. We're talking at that TV at some point in time. I like the NBA has done it, but I wish they would do it a little bit more better. I don't want to see you drink out the red cup 34 damn times. I want you to talk some basketball. If you're going to do a comedy show, do that on stage and charge me on Netflix. But if you're going to watch the NBA game, talk about the game you're watching. Take a book, a page out of the book with Peyton and Eli is doing it. I like the way that they're covering football the way football fans watch football. We say the same thing. We say the same thing Peyton and Eli are saying. They're not saying nothing that one football fan has never said, especially this past Monday night. We got to stop putting the money though in front of the mistake. We pay that man all that damn money, and he can't catch the ball. Who's to blame? Ego. It's early in the year. So that's what I think is coming next throughout the world of sports. I think they're going to try to get players, celebrities, fans of the particular sport to give the viewership a more bang for their buck for the people that are at home. Because some sports, depending on the matchup, need a little push and a tush, as they do in football. You know, you got tush push. You know, that's what they got to do. They got to. What is this witchy woo woo? We need to get that going though. I like the way the NFL has done it. The NBA could tweak it just a tad. I don't know if the NHL has ever done it. I know they get a little crazy when they play outdoors around the New Year. I know that. Yeah. In baseball, I think baseball could really do it. One thing I wish baseball would do, on MLB Network, they have a show Monday through Friday, comes on at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. MLB Central. Listen. If you like baseball, that show at 8 o'clock gives you, it's like the baseball bunch for grown people. That's the best way I can put it to you. They're not bringing you just facts and numbers. It's right there in video. There's a story behind everything. Not long, get straight to the point. If that show would travel a little bit more to baseball cities, especially the ones that appreciate good baseball, i.e., St. Louis, go Cards. But that's what I would like to see when it comes to the push at home to get more people involved into the game. Congratulations to Portland, Oregon. They got the new expansion WNBA team, which will be taking place in 2026. And Vegas at it again. They're getting greedy. They're getting greedy. They're trying to get a base. They already got the baseball team. They got the A's. Okay? They got NASCAR. They got the WNBA. They got hockey. They got the NBA Summer League. And now they're trying to get an NBA team. What more do y'all want, Vegas? I mean, what? I feel like I don't think no city is competing with Vegas. How dare you? You let Vegas do their own thing. But everybody says Nash Vegas, Bell Vegas. I've been to Vegas one time, and I've been to Nash Vegas more than 15 times. No comparison. I used to live in Bell Vegas. No comparison. But I think the reason people use Vegas or name of their city because they wild out and they think that's what people do in Vegas. Not true at all. Not true at all. I tried my damnedest to wild out in Vegas, but in a way I did. I was turning 50. What else you gonna do? You want me to just stay in my room? Not gonna happen. Who's to blame, good folk? Who's to blame? I would like to put an idea in your head that I heard. I mentioned it on Montez at Midday. I'm not trying to say I'm down with it, but I have a question. I have a question. Don't shoot the messenger. I just have a question. What if the opportunity for St. Louis to get involved in the discussion of having another NFL team? Are you down? Are you down and you want them to tell keep it moving, boss? Hold on. Let's talk about this first. What if it's the Carolina Panthers? And what if we can negotiate the deal where they do not play in a dome? You build us a whole new sporting complex because we know Amendment 2 is going to pass. So we have gambling, the venue, and the sporting team all in one big megaplex. Boy, oh boy, can you hear the money falling now, people? But you got to let the fans take control of this, meaning we don't want any narcs involved in this, meaning non-athletic real people. They are not involved in this. Lead us to the grown folks. Let people only that have sports on the brain involved in this. The rest of you, keep it moving. Who's to blame? I think that's something that could possibly work. But what are the odds, though? What are the actual odds of it being a discussion of the Carolina Panthers moving and the possibility of St. Louis coming up in the discussion as the next location? Because let's face it, Carolina is a college basketball NASCAR town, then soccer, then high school sports, then the NFL. It's just like South Beach, Florida. They got baseball there. Nobody's going to a baseball game in Florida. They're playing shuffleboard and pickleball. That's it. That's it. You would think people, billionaires, would know that. They don't. They don't. They don't know simplicity. They have people on a board that make a decision. They look at it and say, yeah, okay, I'll sign it right here. Okay, Grandpa. And he go back in there with his 22-year-old girlfriend. It's really his granddaughter. Don't tell him that. Don't tell him that. We're going to pretend. But that's where we're at right now in that situation. I still want an NBA team here in St. Louis. Give me an NBA team for sure. I mentioned this as well. I met a young man last week that told me he has 3 kids that play youth sports. The youngest is 6. Nobody is over 10. 2 boys and a girl. He paid $900 for his daughter's dance outfit. For an outfit. We're not talking about the fee for the dance situation and all this. Her costume. Both his boys play select baseball, travel. This man bought a $900 bat, $600 glove, and a $700 bat. Again, his boys are 6 and 8 years old. Who's to blame? What happened to reasonable priced items for children that play kid sports? Now, for adults, hey, hell yeah. I've paid $450, $525 for a bat. That's common. It's common. But for a kid, who's to blame? And that travel ball is getting folk in trouble out here. That travel ball is getting folks in trouble. For one, the schedule, the money, the commitment. I mean, at some point, if your child comes to you and say, Mom, Dad, I don't want to do this no more, and you already 17 grand in, who's to blame? That's why I think nowadays that conversation needs to be had when it comes to you being in extracurricular activities. What are you wanting to do? What do you mean you want to play basketball? What do you mean you want to get on the tennis team? What type of a commitment does this mean? You mean extra training? You going on a diet? I mean, how far are we going with this? Are you just getting on the team just to be involved and meet people? Just with the school, or we going private? We need to sit down and talk about this, because I think a lot of times the child nor the parents know the financial commitment and responsibility when your child wants to get involved in extracurricular activities. How we getting there? What's the fee? Who paying for the uniform? We traveling? Who's that on? How many fundraisers we have? You got to get these questions out the way, because if you're not everybody on board in the whole household, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. They need to do a documentary on that. Do a Netflix series on that, starting in sports with the kids. They ought to cover families the kids ages 5 to 10. And these people are finding out how much it really costs to support your child in youth sports, especially if the child is good and they play a select version or a travel version of their particular sport beyond AAU. And you got to get extra training? When is this? I got to work. Who's going to pick you up? Who's dropping you off? Bring back latchkey kids. Bring back latchkey kids. Remember that? Wear your key around your neck. Don't let nobody in my house. And your neighbor across the street was the spy. She going to tell all your business. That's when you stand in the doorway and talk to your friends through the screen door. Those were the days right there. Those were definitely the days. And sometimes they're fun to reminisce about. Sometimes they are. And then other times, there's no telling how it could be. But most importantly, good people, it is great to be back. Hell of a vacation we had. We enjoyed it. Looking forward to doing several more vacations. But as I always say, it's always a pleasure talking to you here on Who's Blamed the Podcast, brought to you by a title sponsor, Certa Pro Painters, Oklahoma City, coming to you live action each and every Wednesday, giving you a fresh new episode. Don't forget you can check out more episodes wherever you listen to your favorite podcast at Who's to Blame the Podcast. Well, great folks, great people. Thank you again for tuning into today's show. And as they always say in the hood, I will holla at you. As they say, do they say later? The kids still say later. I will holler at you later, good people. Thanks again, and we'll see you next week. Same time, same bat channel. Until then, good people, until then, until the sun came down. Dun, 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 and always say, all right, good people, thanks again, and enjoy the rest of your way back Wednesday. Peace, and we out.